Hey friends, Mr. Culp here, and welcome to the TQE Crash Course! So you might be asking yourself, what is this TQE strategy that you're talking about, Mr. Culp? Well, I'm glad you asked because I'm about to explain it to you. So let's get started. TQE is an annotation strategy to use while we're reading. It helps us read closer and truly analyze what we are reading so we can digest it. It also helps us gather our ideas to bring to a group discussion or even just to easily review by looking at our TQE notes of what we have read. Now, there are a variety of ways we can do the TQE strategy. It can be done directly in your book or on a text, as you can see here. It is marked up with T's and Q's with notes by it. It can be done on a homemade graphic organizer. TQE strategy can also be done on an online interactive graphic organizer. So there's lots of ways that you can gather your TQs and E's, and we're going to review all those in another video, but I wanted to show those to you. But now let's chat about what TQE even is. So each of the letters stand for a way to annotate the text while we are reading. So let's start with T. What do you think the T could stand for? If you said thoughts, you would be correct. So while you're reading, you might have thoughts about what you think is going to happen next, or predictions.
John, I think he's starting to feel a little bad for what he's doing. And I think he's going to maybe help Malika later on. But I don't know what's really going to happen, but I got to keep reading.
You might also have thoughts about the author's style of writing, or word choice, or the way they are structuring the text.
I really like the way they describe Aunt Petunia. The author uses great word choice here. Mrs. Dursley was a thin and blonde and had nearly twice the usual amount of neck, which came in very useful as she spent so much of her time craning over garden fences and spying on the neighbors. That really paints a great picture in my head of Mrs. Dursley. Can't wait to read more descriptive language in this book.
You might simply have a connection to what is occurring in the text.
Pony Boy at the end of chapter 1 says, I lie to myself all the time, but I never believe me. This kind of makes me think about the time when, I know I'm doing something that's not always right, but I try to, justify it.
A thought could even just be a thought that you're having about what's going on, what a character is doing that is worth noting.
Trevor's mom bought him a new computer for schoolwork. Based off what I know about her character, that's really surprising to me.
Now, this is just a small list. Your teacher might ask you specifically to capture your thoughts on a variety of topics. For example, if you're reading a book and watching the scene from the movie from, say, 12 Angry Men or A Monster Calls or The Outsiders, you might capture your thoughts on how the director interpreted the scene or the costumes that were used. These are all thoughts. Your teacher might also ask for your thoughts on the tone or mood created by the author in a text. That goes back to word choice, I know, but they might be more specific. So know that this list is just a starting point. It is not the end all, mean all, the only types of thoughts you will capture. All right, so next we have Q. Do you have a good guess for what Q might be? If you said questions, then you might be right. No, yes, you would be right. It does stand for questions. While you're reading, you might have some wonderings or confusions.
I wonder why Shayla did that. I'm a little confused.
You might have some unanswered questions from your text.
I wonder why Pony Boy acts the way he acts. I don't understand.
You might just have a question that you want to bring to the group because remember, TQEs are your ideas to bring to a group discussion. So it's okay to just ask a question about the reading.
I'm not really sure how I feel about this character, Augie. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to write down a question. What does my friends think of Augie to ask my group? That's what I'll do.
And lastly, we have the E of TQE. Now, this is a tougher one to guess, but it is a word for when you have one of those aha moments while reading where you go like, oh, that's why. These are called, did you guess it? Epiphanies. Epiphanies, when you are reading, are those aha moments like I just said. It's when you finally get something that you had to read 2 or 3 times to understand that you want to make a note about so that you remember what it means later. Wait, what? I gotta read that again. Wait. Oh. The panopticon is making people feel like they're being observed even when they're not in order to kind of control them. Okay, I better make a note of that. I'm not going to remember that. It's when something is revealed that you did not see coming, when you have a realization.
That why he did that.
So, that is TQE in a nutshell. A strategy for annotating your text to be prepared for group discussions, or just to annotate your text to be prepared when you look back at a text to review it for your own personal reasons. So, to end, here is a nice chart that captures all 3 TQE components: your thoughts, your questions, your epiphanies. It gives you a quick what it is, a visual representation, and even some sentence starters to help you get your thoughts written down on that paper. Now remember, you can use this strategy even while you're watching a film, while you're listening to a podcast. You can even do it while listening to music when you're thinking about the lyrics. So, I hope this was helpful in understanding the TQE reading strategy. Happy reading, my friends, and have a great rest of your day.